So how's the land of rock and roll in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, with a signature Paul Stanley tattoo on Paul Stevens?
There you go. Yeah, Yarmouth, great so far.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Sound checks were awesome this afternoon.
Good.
Yeah, fantastic.
So who's the other member we have here in the dressing room?
Sitting over here on to my left is Mr. Scott Harnish, who plays the part of Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. All right.
Yeah. Scott, you've been with us how long now?
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I'm not sure if it's been 6 or 7 years. I can't remember.
I think it's 7 years.
I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the Rise to It video when they start. I think that's the video they start putting the
They
makeup.
put the makeup on.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
exactly.
So right now, Dress to Kill is putting on makeup at the YARC. So you guys been together for how long now, Dress to Kill?
Dress to Kill will celebrate its 11th anniversary on October the 29th of this year.
Awesome.
Yeah, we started out as a top 40 band and got a gig on Halloween
And change the style.
and changed the whole deal. The third set of the night, we come out and with some Kiss makeup on and did a whole full set of Kiss, and after that it was 2 months later we were Dressed to Kill.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. Now, every member in the band is obviously dedicated hardcore Kiss fans. We see tattoos here. We see the Gene Simmons tattoo on Mr. Harnish, and then we see the what you call it, the rose tattoo of a Paul Stanley.
Paul has the matching Paul Stanley tattoo.
Yeah, I
as
see
well.
that.
There's one there, and
Okay.
I'll let you tell the story behind that.
We went to Kiss do the Kiss cruise every year.
Yeah.
Which actually they started. So if I joined in 2011, that was the year the first one happened, and none of us went on it, and because we were like, I don't know, this seems kind of shifty. And anyway, then it turned out it was obviously a really good time. So I didn't get Paul went on. When'd you go? You went on 3 and 4.
3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
And so on 5, I started going, and that year, and I didn't have any tattoos, and I realized they were doing tattoos on the boat, and I always thought, I'm gonna get some at some point in time.
Yeah.
And I've always been told, like, if you're gonna get one, make sure that it's important,
Yeah.
right? So of course I was like, this is the time. And so these guys, Mark, our drummer, and Paul were like, if you get one, we'll get one too. And they both already have tattoos. Right?
Okay.
So I picked this one out, and they had one for every character. And they thought I was going to check it out, and I was like, no, I'm getting this done. I'm gonna get it done. And so then of course they had to follow through and get theirs too.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed the Gene Simmons belly flop contest.
Oh, that's right, you were going to do it.
I was entered in the contest on the cruise, and because I got the tattoo, I couldn't win the pool. So, yeah, there's a story behind that.
Now, let's say putting on makeup versus playing the music. I'm seeing there's a lot of work, so you got to be talented in mostly in a few things. You got to be able to sing.
Yes.
And you got to be able to
apply makeup.
Apply makeup, let's say, and then play the music.
Yeah. Which is harder?
Yeah,
putting on the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you guys going to do Kiss without makeup? Or a little bit easier, would you say, or no?
We've often talked about doing an unplugged show,
Right.
just like the MTV Unplugged that they did. But we went out and we did this is years ago. We went out and did just a rehearsal at a club one night. No makeup. Didn't feel the same.
Okay.
It didn't have it. There's something missing.
With the audience? Or with you guys?
Even with the disconnect from us.
Because you're looking at Gene Simmons without makeup now.
Yeah.
And you're not getting it.
Yeah. For me, once the makeup starts going on, I start becoming a different person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true for sure. On the cruises they do a non-makeup sail away show,
Right.
with the current lineup. So you get to see, but of course we all know what they look like. That's not, that's not a surprise anymore like it was years ago. But for them it's different because they're Kiss.
Yeah.
They're the real thing, right? So for us, I think that I don't know that it's so much that the audience wouldn't dig it. I don't think it was that.
No, you
bar thing
weren't.
was before I was in the band, but it's for us. It's part of the. There's definitely a different energy, because we look around like everybody in the audience is looking at us, but we're looking around at each other, right? And going, that's Paul Stanley and that's Ace Frehley, and that's
getting
that's
that
Criss,
feeling
right?
out of it, right?
So it's and obviously the music is the most important thing, but it's hard to argue that with Kiss, the image has always been super important.
Yeah.
It's part of the show, right?
Now, as being we're all actually Kiss fans here in this room, what would be your most important album of Kiss?
Oh man.
Like let's say top 5, but you can always go back to one and say like. To me, let's say it's Lick It Up. I always go back to that one without makeup, of course.
Yeah.
But what would be yours?
For me, Rock and Roll Over.
Rock and Roll Over.
Yep.
That's not one that's mentioned too many times.
No, it was one that and there's a story behind it. Everything that I did with Kiss and this sort of thing here too. It's Rock and Roll Over was a big album for me. I remember walking home with it from the record store, being real happy about it. Couldn't wait to get home and play it. And a buddy of mine stopped me on the street. What's that? He said, Rock and Roll Over, Kiss. He said, when you're finished with it, I got to listen to it. He said, it just looks crazy. Like the images on the album and the whole deal. And it's like, as soon as I'm finished with it, I went home and I played it for a week straight. I know, it must be maybe 2 weeks straight. And I handed it over to him. We did a show probably 7 years ago. This guy's son was in the audience. He knew every song that was on that album. So his father carried that influence for 30 years plus.
Yeah.
And for me, being the guy that gave that guy the album and let him listen to it and knowing that his kids were listening to it, speaks volumes. Yeah, for me. So I guess I just have a personal attachment to that album. It might not be everybody's favorite. I love it. The songs on that were cool. Making Love, Take Me, Mr. Speed, which is like one of the songs that we used to do, and really only the hardcore fans get it, but I'm telling you, what a song. I was like, holy crap.
Very good song on that album. Yeah. And Harnish, what's your...
For me, it would have to be probably, this is going to be this is a controversial one too, is Haunt the Shade.
Haunt the Shade.
Yeah. But the reason Haunt the Shade is the important one for me is because I knew who Kiss were for several years before that came out, and I remember when I was really young, my older cousin showing me pictures of them when they were still in makeup and being like, oh, that's kind of cool. But that was the first album that I bought.
Okay.
That was the first one where I actually got to go to the store and buy, and it was it was when it was new,
yeah.
right? I mean, you mentioned Rise 2 earlier. That's on the record. So it isn't necessarily their best record as far as the songs or any of that stuff, but it's the one that I just that's it means a lot to me because that was the one. And they were supposed to come to Halifax on that tour, and then they canceled.
Oh my, yeah.
Right, and so it was like, so I didn't get to see them until they came back to the Commons, 20 plus years later.
Yeah, something like that. Wow. What's your take on music from the Elder?
It's music from the Elder. Okay. It's just one of those things.
Paul got all kinds of those paintbrushes, man.
It's
dollar store.
It's one of those albums. They did it. They stand behind it. It's not like they ignore the fact. And there are a couple good tunes on there. It's not my favorite album. It probably never will be. But it's part of history, shall we say?
It is.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those things. And this, I mean, if you're a Kiss fan, you can get into these discussions ad nauseum, where you can talk about like, was the Elder a wrong turn? Did Vinnie Vincent save Kiss? Were they better without makeup? There's all the little different parts of the history, and now, I mean, what year did that come out? 81.
81. Yeah.
I didn't even know who Kiss were in 1981. I was only younger than 10 anyway, and I think it's a neat record. It certainly seems kind of odd in the catalog when you go through it, but by the same token, so does
when you listen to the Out. And
I's a great tune. I's a great tune. They've been playing on it. They played that on the last couple of cruises.
Okay.
And which is cool. But I mean, if you look at say Unmasked or Dynasty, I mean those albums were weird albums for people too. Like for different reasons. Obviously, and Unmasked and The Elder were one right after the other. Yeah. So I think a lot of bands are encouraged and congratulated when they decide to kind of shift midstream a little bit, and I think it took balls for them to do it, even if it was misguided. you know, it's fun to listen to every
It's
now
still a
and
good album.
then. Yeah, I think
You know,
they-
the album
there's some
cover
good
is
stuff
still
on it.
something to be questioning about too, but it's all right. I see you guys got to get on stage soon, so I'm going to let you guys be. But it's great to see Kiss tribute band here, Dressed to Kill, in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Perfect.
Very nice guys to meet you guys.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Met you
Jason.
a few years
Yeah.
back there on Poison Cherry,
Yeah.
and that sound feedback. I think
There we
that
go.
we're hearing.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that means rock and roll's coming.
Exactly.
Save
So
us.
rock and roll is coming.
It's going to save Yarmouth tonight.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys have a great time, and look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thanks so much, man.
Hey,
Appreciate that.
you're very
Yep.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd be willing to show Scott's too.
All right. So we have another member of Dressed to Kill here, and what is your name?
It's Mark Wheatley.
And who are you playing tonight?
Peter
you're not.
Criss,
You're not
the
playing
cat
Eric
man.
Carr.
No,
No.
no, rest his soul. God rest his soul.
Yeah, he was a great man.
He was, yeah, for sure.
I just recently watched the film there, Tales of the Fox.
Oh yeah, that's a good video.
Very
yeah.
good, very good. And
Yeah, very good with the fans. I got to see him play live in the last tour he did on the Hot in the Shade tour. I went to see them in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, and yeah, he was fabulous.
wow. Yeah. So you've been a major Peter Criss fan for years.
Since I was 7 years old, yeah, and I'm 49 now, so I
Huh?
got 42 years as a Kiss fan under my belt, and seen them 25 times. Been
Wow.
on the Kiss cruise 6 times, going for my 7th time coming up, and this year I'm grateful to be bringing my kids along for their first Kiss cruise.
So you guys go to the Kiss cruises, and it's very well worded, I imagine, because you get to meet the band too. I'm
Absolutely,
imagining.
yeah. So it's probably the best money you can spend if you're a Kiss fan for bang for the buck. You get 2 Kiss concerts out of it, one with makeup, one without makeup. And then there's a dozen other bands on the boat. There's 6 concert venues, and there's basically you can go to any show you want. So over 4 nights, you typically see 15 concerts or so.
All right. What band have you made part of in the past? Mostly Dressed to Kill, and I'm sure other.
Dressed to Kill, I played a little bit with One Lady Driver. I do some sub work around. I played a little bit, but mostly basement and garage bands prior
Okay.
to joining Dressed to Kill. So I've been in this band for just 10 years gone by.
Cool. Yeah. So you keep busy music as you can. I'm imagining.
Very much so, yeah. We even if we're not playing a lot, we try to get together and rehearse at least once every, I don't know, a couple of months or so to make sure we.
And how many
knocking the rust
how many
off.
shows you guys do it in a year? Let's say.
Well, we've been playing for 10 years, and tonight is show number 99.
Wow.
We've
Okay.
played in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Prince Edward Island. And this year, things are starting to pick up a little bit for us again. I think we have 5 shows this year, which, you know, we all, with the exception of Gene Simmons, all have day jobs. He's a professional musician, so, you know, it's difficult for us to all align our schedules to play more shows than that right now. But if you want us, give us a call. We'll probably come.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, just to finish off here again with Paul and Mr. Harnish. Harnish, what is your first name again?
Scott.
Scott Harnish. All right.
Right.
Gene Simmons is always I'm looking at the guys and I'm not seeing their names.
That's right.
I'm seeing makeup here.
This is Gene Simmons from Kiss.
What bands were you guys a part of in the past? Like not only Dressed to Kill, I'm sure.
Scott?
Well, I'm currently in another band called The Morning After. We're a top 40 club band in Halifax.
Okay.
And I played for 10 years in a band called Caper. We were another pub band. And I'm not from Cape Breton, but the leader of that band was, so that's why we had that name. So I was just like, whatever, I don't care what you call the band. And I've done it. My wife is also a recording artist. Her name is Elise Bessler, so I play with her. And we're actually playing at Nova Scotia Music Week in like a month and a half.
Her music is absolutely fabulous.
It's a little different than what you'll hear us do tonight, but it's lots of fun to play.
Okay. And you have the rasp of Peter Criss.
Oh, let's hope so. We'll
Is
see.
there pre-show music on that?
All right. Thank you guys.
Okay,
Thanks again,
no problem.
Jason.
Yeah, no problem.